So, you know what I like about you, Will, is that no matter how hard it gets, you care about the sound. So no matter how uncomfortable it is, you still manage to make a very beautiful sound on the violin. And this is very admirable and impressive, okay? That will get you far with the violin. Now, what I'm wondering is if instead of this bow hold, you could let your fingers calm down and go this way. This way you can lean on the bow and it's gonna stay in your hand and it's gonna be much easier. You already have the good sound, but what we're looking for is comfort. Because right now, your hand is more like this. It has to be more like that, okay? Give it a try, please. So, one thing that's very important, William, is that there's fingertip for the thumb. Right now, I see more finger pad. I need fingertip. Do you understand the difference in between fingertip and finger pad? It's still finger pad. So, there we go. That's fingertip, right there. So the part that's on that side of the finger is fingertip. On that side of the finger is finger pad. We want fingertip. Now, second finger will make a good old circle with the thumb. So that this is how you hold it. And these two fingers, they stay curved. They really need to stay curved. Do you see how I press them against each other a little bit? To make sure that you have that control. Pinky, relax. There you go. Now try. Try. Feel how the sound is stronger right away, yeah? Hear it? And the bow goes straighter. Oh, and then your fingers got straight at the end. So, did you hear on G string how your sound got a little whistly? Here's what happens, William. So on G string, G is a very thick string, right? So if you go too close to the bridge, and you see that circle on my hand? See this? That's what I would like to see when you come on. How often does he do the half? Oh, wait. Did you check the fingertip for your thumb? So if you hear whistling noises, that means you have to move the bow over here. Not so close here, but over there. Try again. Beautiful. Fingertip, please. Okay, so how often does the songs? It's very important. However, in each practice, can you stand over there? Oh, over here. However, in each practice, you have to make sure that you do open strings and you do scales. The day that you stop doing them is the day you're going to start playing worse. Just how it works, okay? Check this out. He's funny, huh? Okay. So, very important. You have to do that every day. Now, I need a practice log. Do you know what that is? So each time you practice, I need you to write it down. He's like a dog. He brings. Anyway, I'm distracted with my own cat. So every time you practice, I need you to write down how many minutes you practiced and what you practiced. Okay? So I'm gonna write practice log. And make sure it's fingertip for the up, not finger pad. Now tell me, William, which finger is supposed to go across from your thumb? This one, not that one, right? You start correctly, and then you relax your hand and it slips right there. So you start correctly and then you end up with this, okay? I need you to do it again, but pay attention to your bow hold. Do you hear the difference in sound?
Yeah.
It becomes stronger, right? So, do you practice by yourself or does your dad help? Kind of. Can you make sure you remind him what he has to practice, what we did in lessons?
Yeah.
Like about the bow hold, because you can see the difference and you can tell the difference in sound. Will you let your dad help you a little to remind you, because you have so many things to take care of? So I said open strings, bow hold, thumb on fingertip, not pad, second finger across, second finger makes circle, makes with thumb. Good for you, that was very nice. Your left hand is so good, you know that? Always on tapes, everything is perfect. I'm looking at your bow hold and I'm like, yeah, okay. I guess it's not too bad for a beginner. How old are you?
8.
It's not too bad. Didn't I meet you when you were 7? Did you have a birthday since we started lessons?
Yeah.
Huh. How long ago? When is your birthday?
July.
Oh, well, I don't know if I ever have told you happy birthday, but happy birthday. By next year, you'll be able to play happy birthday song for all of your siblings and your parents and yourself if you wanted to. All right, so bow hold is very, 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 very important, okay? And that's the only thing that I see right now that you could improve. Otherwise, it's all very, very good. All right, let's do long bow. Get ready. Ready, play. Yes, it's the bow hold. Finger tip and second finger. Now, can you do that again? And here's what I want you to focus on. Two things. Using lots of bow. So when you go... Sorry, it's very loud. Have a loud violin. But you see, I use most of the thing. You use about like this much, okay? So, bow hold and lots of bow. Ready, and more bow, more bow. Yes. More bow. Good. More. Wait a second, fix your bow hold. Good, relax your pinky. Good. Ready, E, open the string. Ready, go. Move your bow, move your bow, move your bow, move your bow, move your bow. Move your bow, move your bow. Move it, move it, move it, move it. Move it. I know what he needs. He needs a cheerleading team. You need a cheerleader to sit there and be like, Will, use more bow. Come on, you can do it. More bow. Be your own cheerleader. If you want to create big, beautiful sound on the violin, you gotta use that bow. Now, which part of the bow do you think you use most? What do you think? Which part do you need to use more now? This part, yes. And let me tell you, this part is really awkward because your arm is right here. But this part, is much, much more comfortable for big bows. Now, I don't know if I ever told you, but when you play, can we just do a few bows and up and down, just like that, on A string, just from the tape to the tip and back to the tape. Okay, William. Now here's what I want you to focus on. Well. Here's what I want you to focus on. As you go down bow, I need you to release these two fingers, 3 and 4. So when you go down bow, you just let them go. Don't try to hold them. Not at the frog, my friend. Just at the tip. Keep going. Release the fingers, yeah? Wait. Check your fingertip. Ay. Okay, from the tape to the tip on open A string, releasing the fingers towards the top of the bow. Release your pinky too. So the only 3 fingers that are going to stay involved are these 3. And these, once you go here, you don't need them. think? How does it sound? Do you like it more or less?
More.
Me too. So you have to remember, when you go to the top part of the bow, these two fingers, you have to relax and release. Because if you don't, then your hand is going to start pulling the bow this way. So my question is, when do you need these two fingers? Feel how the pinky is holding the weight of the bow? That's when you need them. And this is when this finger is going on a little vacation. It says, bye, see you later. I'm going on my vacation. So, when you draw the bow up and down, what you have to do is focus on balancing the bow. So when you play at the frog, you can feel how your pinky balances the bow. And this finger is really relaxed. This finger should stay circle. Now, the best sound is when it really rings, like right now. Like, that's the best sound that this violin can make right now. And actually, just for fun, I want you to experience what it's like to do it on a big violin. You want to give it a try? You can make good sound even on a big violin if you balance the bow right. Good. And if you go from here, you can't go to the tip, but release these two fingers and go down bow. Come on. Maybe it's time to buy a big violin for you, huh? What do you think, Will? Would you like a big violin? No, I'm kidding. Always wiggling. If it's not straight, if it tips over, that's when the sound gets funky. Not good funky, bad funky. Okay. Go for it. Good job. First of all, very, very good memorization. That was very, very impressive. Good fingers, good sound. Do you know what rhythm is? So, as you know, can I see the book? Stick going down, this is called a quarter. Oh, he doesn't know the fractions yet, right? Or did?
I don't think you know yet.
Okay. Quarter. Now, quarter is 1 beat long. Okay? Now, the hollow note with the stick is a half note. So, if quarter is 1 beat, half, how many beats do you think it is?
No.
So if you divide the apple in 4 parts, right? Each is called a quarter. Oh no, with the dollar. How many quarters does it take to make 50 cents? How many quarters does it take to make, yeah.
2.
2, okay, so this is 2. This is 1, 1. So when you play, you have to play 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so this is 1, 1, 1, 2. Try it. Good. Another thing that happens is when you play, you have to think before you start playing, William. Because if you stop playing, if you stop the bow and start thinking, there's no music, right? And in music, that's called a rest. And there are no rests here. So I say this, put your second finger right there before you start playing. I'm going to call it the second finger prep. So I have second finger down. Looks like Cat is up to no good. And I just go. My second finger is ready to go. Okay? So then I go 1, 1, 1, 2. Try it. So put your second finger before you start playing. Good. And then start playing. Yes. And then same thing. 1, 1, 1, 2. Good. And these are all 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And this one is what?
Half.
This is a half note, so 2 beats. So I will go 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Start down bow from the beginning. Fingertip for the pad, fingertip for the thumb, please. Good. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good. And these are all ones, right? Up until the end. So they're all same. One, two. This one starts up bow, up bow. One. So we're starting on line 2, and this time it's all quarters. Up bow. There you go. How many C's? Oh. I'm so sorry, I have to run.